We're not really struggling with the facts right now surrounding this madness in Minnesota. We're struggling with what is right and wrong. And the reason it's a struggle is because, unlike everywhere else in our lives, we're looking at these situations through the lens of what's good for the right or what's good for the left. Once you make that adjustment and realize that the partisan preferences are literally poison, now things start to be a little bit easier to analyze. For example, what we were just talking about, the big news, Alex Pretti. Look at this guy. Look at him spitting at him. Look at him kick the truck. Look how angry he is. Look at the lights going to come off and cops going to come out. And then he's going to go back and say, yeah, assault me, assault me. And people are saying, what? What are they saying? Does it change what happened almost 2 weeks later? In all the videos I've seen, you don't see him doing any of these things. I know Kristi Noem accused him of basically doing these things. Maybe she had seen this already and confused the two incidents. I don't think so. But the point stands. You saw what you saw. At trial, evidence like this, I don't even know that it gets in. Why? Prejudice versus probity. How relevant is it? I'll tell you what, though. For all of you who are saying, look, it's proof. He set himself up. He was asking for it. By the way, it's not a legal standard. Second of all, you don't get the death penalty because you mess with cops. May be a crime, may make you a rioter, but it doesn't make the death penalty automatic. Second point, maybe you're right. And maybe some of these guys knew about or are the same guys that mixed it up with him 2 weeks later. Maybe that's why they hit him so hard, so fast. Maybe that's why they shot him so many times. You see, you want to look at it through the lens of left and right. Fine, I'll take this all day. Yeah, it's proof of their prejudice. They knew who this guy was, and that's why they did him so dirty. But if you look at it through right and wrong, where does it leave you? We've seen the video, okay? We don't need people we entrust with our values and with our laws killing people for no good reason. So you can tar him. They did the same thing with George Floyd, okay? Same city, same thing. Was it a mistake to try to make George Floyd a saint? Yes, the facts are enough. And you can criticize lionizing George Floyd. You can criticize lionizing Alex Pretti. Exaggerating their character, fine. Maybe because you feel bad that they were murdered or they were killed at a minimum. Or maybe you're just doing it for political advantage. But either way, that's all it's going to be. Last time I checked, being a bad person or harassing cops, again, even if you want to call what Pretti did rioting, does not come with a death sentence. Stick to what you saw in the video. Let the investigators decide what it is and what it isn't. Same thing with suggestions that outside groups are helping fund and populate protests in Minnesota. Looked at through the lens of partisan advantage, somehow it mitigates the wrongness of what's happening in Minneapolis because the protests are manufactured. Do you really believe that what's happening on the streets there isn't largely organic and a direct response to ICE and its tactics? You really think it has to be manufactured? And this outrage, again, you don't look at it right-left, you look at it right-wrong. Where was this when your righty podcasters were getting money from Russian entities that wanted to fund conflict in America? Why weren't you so upset about manipulated media then and manipulated moments then? You see right and left. It's killing us. Same thing with the shutdown. I say it's good news that the Senate made a deal to keep the government from shutting down and to keep negotiating on bills to rein in ICE. I think that's good. Remember, no shutdown will stop ICE or CBP from doing what it's doing right now. They already have the funding through 2029. So you'll shut it down. You'll affect agencies, just not those two. So if that's what it's about, it is counterproductive. But the Republicans don't want to seem to come back to the House and vote. Why? Because they like the conflict. Looking at it right-left, the shutdown's probably bad for Democrats. It was bad for them last time. Let's stick on it. But what is the right thing to do? Drag your ass back to work and vote. The irony is, if they just look at it in terms of right and wrong, there's actually a win for the White House, beyond just pleasing MAGA. They're willing to limit funding at DHS, make it short-term, so that they can negotiate a full deal on how to reform how ICE and CBP are doing their jobs in the interior. See, it's another example of how if you focus on right and wrong, you're going to see certain things. And if you focus on right and left, you're going to see different things. And that's the problem. Clarity of what our concentration is. Look, Tom Homan made the deal with local leaders that should have been made before ICE ever went to Minnesota. Did you hear this?
I'm also pleased to announce I had a very good meeting with Attorney General Ellison, and he has clarified for me that county jails may notify ICE of the release dates of criminal public safety risks so ICE can take custody of them. All we want is to talk to the person that local and state law enforcement authorities locked in a jail cell. This is common sense cooperation that allows us to draw down on the number of people we have here. Yes, I said it. Draw down the number of people here.
Agreed. Now, why isn't this getting as much pickup as him saying, where were the lefty protesters with the fentanyl, and where were they with this, and where were they with that? Because that is right and left. That is conflictual. That is discord. That is what sells. That's what trips the algorithm. But this is the news. You want to have fair criticism on right and wrong. Why didn't you make this deal weeks ago? Not Tom Homan, because he wasn't driving the bus then. But I say this is a great move. They should have access to the jails and prisons to get people who are violent criminals and don't belong in this country. That's not what this was about, though. That's why they rushed in without making the deal. Why? Because they were hyping Nick Shirley's largely hollow reporting about fraud at daycare centers. Well, why are you saying it's hollow? Because knocking on a door is different than an actual investigation. And you tell me what investigative agencies, state or federal, has found anything like what he was selling. And that's why they rolled into Minneapolis so heavy. It was a great excuse to go after that community, even though the head of the ring that we know about was headed up by some white middle-aged lady. But this is about demonizing. They didn't want to make a deal before. They wanted to come in strong. They wanted the conflict. Why? Right and left. So today, though, the pressure point shifts. Why? New opportunity. What Minnesota is about is the one-year anniversary of the Lake and Riley Act. Why? Well, because it's 1 year and because that's really powerful emotional fodder, because it's one too many, and all of those deaths, anyone who's not supposed to be here legally who hurts or kills, that's avoidable. Now, I don't even accept that premise, by the way. I think it's impossible to have no one in this country that is here illegally. I think logistically, I think legally, I think financially, I think it's an impossibility. And that's why they play with the number, 10 million, 15 million, 25 million. They don't know how many people are here illegally. They don't even know, okay? And there's no arguing the tragedy. Of course it was wrong. But if this administration cares so much about how much violent crime is committed by undocumented immigrants, tell me something. Why don't they even track it? Why don't they even count? Why don't they spend the time and resources to figure out how big the problem is? Because the boogeyman, the specter, taking individual cases and blowing them up is better for right and left conflict on it. Every study that's been done shows that people who are here illegally tend to commit violent crimes at a lower rate, okay? Look, if you want to stop people killing, let's just say women, okay? 75% of homicides of women are someone they know. So you're dealing with 12 to 15 to 20%, depending on how you cut up the numbers, of the unknown. Let's put them in that category. You want to stop unknown assailants from murdering or killing? You know what you do? Increase your prison sentences. Make people serve the sentence that they're in there, because the overwhelming majority of people who kill are in jail at some point for violent crimes. If you were to do that, then you really avoid who's killing. That's the real problem. Right? Undocumented immigrants, they're not our crime problem. They're not our homicide problem. But it works for right and left, but not for right and wrong. You get away from partisan advantage. We all know what the right thing to do is. The majority of the country backs the idea of removing anyone who's not legally here, who is a threat to commit a violent crime. It's not an open question, and it's not a close call. Biden screwed it up. He created an issue by inaction and poor action. Okay. Politically, that was really bad. Probably malfeasance, not even misfeasance. But if you want to get better, you can't just focus on right-left. You got to focus on right-wrong. You know what I'm saying? Then you would have a hyper-focus. Who's not here legally, who has committed violent crimes, let's find them. Okay? But these made-up numbers, 10 million, 25 million, the impossibility of getting rid of everybody. Have you seen the graph recently? I'm having them work up this graph of the more people that they apprehend, the larger the ratio gets of people who have criminal pasts to no criminal past. Why? Because they're looking for numbers. That's why, because Trump said we'll get them all. All right? And now I'm telling you, if you don't want to see what we're seeing in Minnesota, go after the bad guys that nobody wants here. Don't go after people who are formative parts of communities who did nothing wrong but commit a misdemeanor when they made a choice to come to this country illegally. That's what I'm saying. So thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.